name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. And I have with me a group collective that call themselves the Divine Collective. And they want us to consider the idea of becoming a blank slate. Not that you become a blank slate, but that your mind becomes a blank slate. You make your mind into a blank slate onto which you can write, read, and receive inspiration and ideation from sources other than what you are familiar with through your 5 physical senses. So that's going to be the subject today. And we're just going to wait a few minutes for people to come aboard. Thank you. Yeah, they were saying, I was in the shower and I had all this stuff going through my mind, and they said, stop, just stop your mind from doing that. And I said, what do you mean doing that? And they said, all that thinking. You do not need thinking from your mind. Your mind cannot think. Your mind is only remembering. Examine what you're thinking. So I stopped and I began to examine what I was thinking about. I have to do this thing, and I have to do this thing, and I got this thing to do, and I got this call to make. And I was thinking about all things that were based on what I did yesterday that should come next. I said, you do not need to think in that sense. You need to release what you know and allow what is right to unfold in your consciousness, to step away from your mind, to have a blank mind so that you can put in it what you can be inspired with rather than what you remember. And this has been a really common theme over the last couple of years with many of these ascended masters, and the Pleiadians and the Lemurians are saying we have to get out of our minds. We literally have to go out of our minds to get free of the conditions that we find ourselves repeating over and over again for tens of thousands of years as a species. And the only way to do that is to learn to liberate ourselves from our mind, to get our mind clear so that it becomes open and receptive to who we are as an awareness, as a being, as a soul. They're saying most of you still have the tendency to believe that your thoughts are who you are. Many of you have the tendency to still believe that your future is based on the thoughts of your past. And this simply creates a cyclical repetition of suffering. It can also create a cyclical repetition of good things, but it does not lead to transformation or transcendence from your existing conditions. It simply allows you to repeat them, and they may be good and they may be bad, but simply living from what you remember just repeats what you remember over and over and over again. And we have watched this comedy of errors occur in your species for a long time. It is time to stop it. You are innately intelligent enough to distinguish between who you are and what you are not. And we are very specific about that term, distinguishing between who you are and what you are not. Who you are is not simply a collection of thoughts and memories, although they can be nice and pretty and fancy. Who you are is very different from that, although you can reflect upon them and make the error of thinking that your memories are who you are. To become a blank slate does not mean that you stop thinking or you stop considering or you stop conceiving. It simply means you are no longer directed by the preconditions of the past. You examine rather what is in this moment and become open and receptive to ideas and information that can easily and readily be accessed by you without a reference to your past. This is what you call inspiration. All of the advances that you have made as a species has not occurred from what you remember. It has occurred from what you receive in the moment. The inspiration that does not come from the world of the senses, but comes from the unknowable place where all things are actually known. All things exist in the unknown. Whereas in the confines of what you remember, all you remember is what you remember. There is only that which is familiar to you and not that which is able to advance you, and all great innovations have occurred from this place of inspiration where you receive ideas, inspiration, inclinations, even from us. When you turn to us, where you get new ideas that are outside the framework of what you can recall, and you go, this is a brand new idea. You did not get that from your senses. You got that from the place where you live as a being, as a consciousness, in alignment to a greater consciousness, which embraces all. It embraces all the unknown. And when you embrace the unknown, that which is unknown can become known to you. And that simply is what you call inspiration, where it comes from a place of the unknown and becomes known to your awareness, to your perception. And then you go, I got this great idea. But the truth is you open up to receiving this great idea from an unknown source that has all knowledge of things that are unknown to you, but which embraces and considers far more than what you know. Much of what you need to know is what you do not know, and in order to understand and get access to what you do not know, you have to relinquish your attachment to what you do know. But so many of you believe you have to try and figure it out all on your own, which is why so many of you cannot see us or hear us, because you try to figure it out on your own. And this does not really work too well, because you are not alone. You never have been, nor have we, and nor shall you ever be. How then do you create a blank slate? How then do you draw your mind into silence when there seems to be so much that captures your eyes and your ears and your nose, and you are attracted into matter, seduced by it in one sense, lost in it often? So how do you begin that process of liberating yourself from that perspective of being? How do you do this? And the simple answer is you simply turn your attention away from your thoughts. But so many of you are so entangled in them, you think they are the only reality that you have to experience. And we simply say that is not true. That is not true at all. And you know it. It is why so many of you will suffer and continue suffering, because you know there is a need to eliminate that suffering and that you can do it. You just simply keep trying to eliminate your suffering from what you already know. And it is not what you know that will alleviate your suffering. It is what you do not know. So when you can turn your attention away from your senses to go within, and to go within does not simply mean to go within the place of this body. It's to go into a place within that does not include the place of your senses, to put your body and your mind into a state of abeyance or rest or stillness, not allowing them to capture your attention, getting them still and quiet, and then moving your awareness away from what is familiar to you, the thoughts, the memories, the considerations of a future that has not occurred, that is often based on your thoughts and your memories. And so you repeat that cycle. But if you turn your attention away from these and pull yourself away from that and pull yourself away from that until you're not wrapped up in it anymore, there is a different awareness that you will experience yourself as being. There's a different awareness that you'll experience yourself as being in that place where you disconnect from your body, you disconnect from memory, you disconnect from thought, you disconnect from future considerations based on those. And there is a moment where you find relief. And in that moment of relief, if you pause there where there is no burden of thought or memory or emotion. Because you can do this. You can do this. Many have done it. Consider. You can do this. You can turn your attention away from your thought. Turn your attention away from your emotions. Turn your attention away from that body. And you will find yourself being different. There is a sensation that you will perceive. There's not a physical sensation, but it is palpable. It is something you will feel as an awareness, that you will feel, I am still, I am quiet, I am not even aware of my body. I am just this stillness here. In that place of stillness, there is nothing that you know. In that place of stillness, there is nothing that you know. And in that place of not knowing, the unknown becomes available to you. In that place, you can say, what do I need to know? And listen. And do not let your mind answer, because your mind likes to pretend that it is smart. Many of you think that memory is a basis for intelligence, and nothing could be further from the truth. Memory is not intelligence. Intelligence is what you are as a being, is what you are as a being, this intelligence. And in that place of the stillness, where there is no mind, no memory, no matter, you are being, you are in the unknown, and in there you may ask and you may receive inspiration from that place of the unknown. The unknowable in that context is knowable when you exist as awareness in the unknown. When you exist as awareness in the unknowable can be known. But in the confines of your mind, all you can know is what you know and remember. Then all you know is what you know, and so nothing new occurs or changes in your life. So when you find yourselves struggling individually and collectively, repeating the same things over and over again, is because you are stuck in what you remember over and over and over again, imprisoned by your own attentions to what does not serve you. So this place where you have turned your attention away from your thoughts, the place where you have turned your attention away from the body, the place where you've turned your attention away from the emotions, you can do this. You turn your attention away from them. They call to you, you turn away. They call to you, you turn away. You continually turn away. Let them rest, let them be still. And then you find that place of the unknowable, but you are still aware in that place. In that place, the statement, asking ye shall receive, is very applicable, provided you are willing to ask, not allow your mind or your body or your memory or your emotion to jump in to pretend it is smart. Your mind is not smart. It is simply a collection of memories, but you are the intelligence within that form. To liberate yourself from that perspective of mind and body and thought and memory is to begin the journey of true creation, to begin to align yourself to the articulation of your purpose, not the body's purpose, not the thought's purpose, your purpose. Your purpose comes not from what you know, but from what you do not know. And many of you in this world have encountered what you love and what your purpose is in something that drives you and fills you and excites you and impassions you. And you can think of nothing else and you do nothing else. And then thought gets in the way. What if I can't? Maybe this is wrong. And of course, then what you remember gets in the way of who you are again. But that place where mind and body and memory and emotion are suspended because you are not paying attention to them. You are just being in that place. You may begin to ask and receive what you do not know, but what you've been seeking. We have had many of you say, what is our purpose? What am I here to do? You do not know because you keep trying to find out what you know, but you do not know from what you know, and you will not. You can only find out what you do not know from what you do not know, and you must let go of what you know to know what you do not. That is very simple, is it not? Once you are a blank slate, you are free. Thank you for that super chat, Inshira. I really appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. These guys have been, I love these guys. They just ground me so much whenever they come to my presence. They really have the tendency of reminding me that what most of us call thinking is simply repeating information that's stored in our minds. It's not thinking at all. Most people can't think. Most people repeat patterns again and again and again. That's not thinking. That's just repeating. And they really help me come to that place of not thinking, right? Not repeating my thoughts, just being in this moment. Right? Master Jesus talks about being in the eternal present, the kingdom of God being here and now. He speaks of that quite frequently, as does Buddha, right? The state of beingness, he refers to it as a state of beingness. That's that place of not knowing. And in that place of not knowing, all else is literally brought to your awareness to be perceived by, if you want. Very exciting. Yes, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to remind everybody that we got our mediumship program, Mediumship 101 course, starting August the 28th of this month. Please go to my website and register now. This course will change your life immensely. Guides, ascended masters, Pleiadians, fairies, multidimensional beings are available to all of us when we can shift our perception from what we think we know to the unknown. When you can actually alter the way your eyes see, the way your ears hear. You can actually change what you see, what you hear, so that you hear things and see things that are all around us all the time, but are unavailable because we're so caught up in what we think we know, so that's all we see, right? Most people see a beautiful plant, right? But if you could shift your awareness and perception, you'd feel the vital energy, the light that flows through this being. You know, you'd be able to perceive those energy spectrums from it, and you can feel its communication. In this case, I feel it's gratitude that it's been growing. It's grown almost 2 feet since we've had it. It's gratitude in our presence, our gratitude in its presence. You move to the realm of perception beyond the 5 physical senses. So please consider learning to tap into these other faculties that you have: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. You'll learn to do that in these courses. Please, please, please do yourself a favor. Sign up for these courses. They are life-changing. So remember that. Let's see. Hi, Tanya. Hello, Kelly. Hi, Diane. For those of you that are new today, if you have a question, remember, always write the word question and then your question following that. That way, my biological mechanism, my eyes will pick that cue up and then inform them that there's a question. Yes, but they did point me to your question, Diane, so we're going to address that. Can you tell me about the being I saw in the sky that looked like he flashed wings twice, then disappeared? Much appreciation. Yes, this is part of a circle of angels that hang out with Archangel Michael. There are going to be more and more. People are going to start seeing more and more of these angelic forms in the sky. I've been seeing pictures of them on the internet. They're going to be coming in larger and larger and larger numbers as we reach this crescendo of choice between choosing to continue living through fear and uncertainty, or choosing to live through love and creation. Right? Humanity collectively is at that place. So yeah, this is they're not giving me a name. They're saying, you have glimpsed us. Now do not try to figure us out, but simply allow yourself to feel our presence with you. That you can see us is the first step. And that really is true. Once you start to perceive, once your perception captures something that's outside of yourself or not familiar, what happens with most people, yes, I will. What happens with most people is they perceive something that's new, like, wow, look at that. And then their memory, their mind, their personality start to then analyze it from what it remembers. And then what it remembers is not the same as what is experienced. And now the experience fades away because now you're looking at it from an old self and not from that moment of wonder. Stay in the state of wonder. When you perceive the presence or sense the presence of these higher vibrational beings, and yes, they want me to stress there is a spectrum of frequency throughout creation that is organized by the qualities of ideas, information, and sensation that you give attention to. These ideas, informations, and sensations can include emotional qualities. If you are in an emotional quality that is excited and open and gleeful, you are likely to perceive our presence. If you are in a lower vibrational state where you are caught up in your fear and your anxiety, you are likely to perceive lower vibrational energies. And these are neither good nor bad, they are simply what they are, but you may align yourself to either. It is better that you do this consciously and deliberately than hope that one day you will be up and one day you'll be down, which is what most of you do. However, if you deliberately and intentionally learn to alter and articulate changes in your frequency, the level at which you as an awareness, as a mind, and as a body vibrate, and it is only through your awareness that you can alter the vibrational frequency of mind, emotion, and body. Only you as the awareness can alter the frequency of mind, body, and emotion. And it is that process of being able to organize those things that enables you to change your frequency deliberately and intentionally. And we work through this one and many others to demonstrate how you can relieve yourself of subjectivity to the very things that you are supposed to have authority over, which is your mind and your body and your emotions. There are many other things to consider as well. Things that what you put into your body. How do you treat your body? How do you treat your mind? What do you feed them? These are very important. For the frequency of body is in great part organized by what you place into it, as well as what you put into it in the form of thought. But this is another discussion. Today, we wish to simply get you to the understanding that you must learn to liberate yourself, to become a blank slate, to make your mind and body a receptacle for inspiration beyond what you already know. To make your mind and body a receptacle for higher vibrational information that's beyond what you already know. And you can go to that place of the unknown. You exist there. It is your nature to go there, to ask, and to receive. Very fascinating. So yeah, a lot of people all over the world are going to be seeing more and more phenomena. And there are. I cannot tell you how important it is. They keep telling me over and over again, William, the emotional human collective has to shift from fear to love. If that does not happen, it has an effect. The energy of fear affects matter, time, and space very differently than the vibrational energies of love and joy. There are different organizations that occur in matter, time, and space with these different frequencies. Understand this. And many of us are here in great numbers and greater numbers to come, hopefully to get your attention away from your suffering, to assist you in opening up to the greater possibilities of what love can offer you and your species as an experience versus what fear is offering only to so many of you right now. This is a choice that must be undertaken consciously and deliberately, and you cannot have others make that choice for you. It is a choice that you must willingly execute yourself. You must decide that I will surrender my fear. I will surrender my thoughts that are in alignment with fear. I will surrender my fearful emotions. I will begin to embrace new ideas that are outside of what I know. I will go to that place where the unknown is, and I will receive and ask for inspiration. And as you begin to change your frequency, so too this world will begin to change as well. There have been many advantages to what has happened in these last 2 years for humanity. You've begun to see that you need far less than you think. This is very important. You've begun to realize that you need far less than you think you need, and that you can survive and you can thrive and you can be happy if you choose. Question from Inshira. Sorry, I posted a question in Super Chat, but forgot to write question. No worries. I'm not sure where that is. There's a lot of questions today. We're so glad to have so many of you here today. Hello, Daniela. Is there a message from Narina's parents for her and her son who seems to be dissatisfied with life? Please understand, it is not life that this one is dissatisfied. It is what is going on in his mind, what is going on in his emotions, and what is going on in his body. This is what he is dissatisfied with. But he simply has to turn his attention away. Have this one sit quietly. Have this one sit quietly. Turn his attentions away from his thoughts. And for heaven's sakes, tell his family to not think such negative thoughts about this one, but to assist in liberating themselves from their fears and concerns about him. It will allow this very sensitive one to be able to go into that place of not thinking. He has great concerns about what others think they are thinking about him. And you must understand, he, like any of you, can turn your attention away from thoughts in your mind. You can turn your attention away from the emotions. Yes, it takes effort and time, but you can do this. When it is there, simply say, no, I will not pay attention to that anger. I will not pay attention to that fear. I will not pay attention to that doubt. I will not pay attention to that fear. Learn to turn your attention away from what you are so uncomfortably familiar with, and let yourself sit in what you do not know. And in that place of what you do not know, you may ask and receive what you need to know from what you do not know. This is not a paradox. It makes perfect sense that if what you know is only giving you what you know, then what you do not know can give you everything else. Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, I got that. Yes, Inshira, I hope you heard them. The singing, I don't know why they say singing. Tell her to sing. Sing, Inshira, sing. That is the most expedient way to get from that place. The fastest way for you to get from that place is through singing. Yes. Question from Janine. Hi, Janine. I had a horrible dream of killing a puppy with poison last night. I didn't have a choice but to kill him. I did it out of mercy. What does it mean? Thank you. Well, this is wonderful news to hear that you have finally realized that no matter how cute and fluffy your body may appear to be, that you are its master and not its servant anymore. That you now are no longer subjective to the body itself now. You are now in the position where you can begin to assert greater authority now over your mind. There is no harm in taking the proper position and relationship you are meant to have with that body. It is simply an animal that you're here to take care of, a vehicle through which you express. But we can assure you the symbology in your experience is what is most important. That you've decided that you are no longer subjective to the animal. The animal is your servant, not your master. As too is the mind, but your servant and not your master. Many of you are so confounded by the conditions of your body, unaware that you actually created them, and that you've indulged the body's senses rather than having sense about what was right for your body. But we are glad to hear this, that you have decided to consciously make that step. Do not think there is any harm in choosing to be the master of your temple, to no longer cater to the childish desires of your body when it likes the sweets and it likes the meats and it likes the things that are not good for it. And it has been indulged, and it has been indulged. Now it is time to, no, you shall not be indulged anymore. I will not put poison into you. I will not let you indulge your senses that way. Give it the things that you know will be love's offering to that body. Give what you know to be love's offering to that body. The good food, the good thoughts, the good activities, the exercises, the things that the body truly needs. Not what it desires, but what it truly needs. So we're very grateful to hear that you are now making that distinction between who is in charge. You will not be seduced by the cute little desires of that little body that you find yourself living in. That now it is your servant, not your master. I love it. Thank you so much, Janine. Really appreciate that. Hi, Drusilla. Yes. Question from Michelle. I am having a lung biopsy in 2 weeks. Is there any message for me regarding this situation? Well, we would ask you to consider quite simply what your concerns are about this. You're asking us to give you a message, and we would simply say to you, what message would you give to your lungs? What are you communicating to your lungs? How often do any of you stop and consider that every organ in your body is an individual expression of your life? That the liver or the kidney or the heart or the lungs, these are all beings that make up your body. They're different beings with different functions, much like there are different people in your world. And how much love do you give them? How much love do you give that which serves you faithfully? For that which is not loved will suffer, and that which is loved shall thrive. We encourage you to go into that place with your love, and be in your love and your gratitude. Be in your love and your gratitude, and offer that to those beautiful lungs, those wonderful lungs that give you breath and smell and life for that body. Even that biopsy, that part of your body that seems questionable, give it the most love. We are with you now if you are willing to allow this vibration of love and to offer it not simply to your lungs but to every part of your body. But in particular, the lungs seem to be calling for love more than any other organ, or it would not be getting your attention. Is it not true that the hungriest child in a crowd will scream the loudest? And the body needs certain things, and different organs need different things because they are individual as the people on the planet. So too are the organs in your body. They require love as equally as do you. So we encourage you to take the time to sit and offer your love and your gratitude and your appreciation for what these beings give you. Thank you. Great question. I love that. That we have to learn to actually treat that we don't, most people aren't taught that the relationship you have with the outside world, you should have the same relationship with the inside world. Most people don't realize that when you think about your heart, you're affecting it. When you think about your lungs, you're affecting them. You know, we go into great detail in our mediumship program. I really encourage you to come out to that program for those of you that want to really connect to your guides and your angels. For those of you that want to really get beyond being subjective to your emotions, your body, your senses, your past, take these courses. They will change your life and understanding of your life and your own expression. You'll be in wonder, and you'll never be alone again. When you realize you can tap into the guides and angels around you, it's liberating. But yeah, you learn to have a better relationship with your body. You know, most people don't realize I can actually put my attention on my liver and it affects it. I can put my attention on my digestive system and my attention affects it. Don't you realize that? Just like you can put your attention on your hand to open and close, you affect it. Now, they've been telling us that every place you put your attention creates an effect. Every place you put your attention creates an effect. And what is the quality of your attention when you place it there? What is your intention when you place your attention in your heart or your lungs or your toes or your kidneys or your liver or any organ, your thyroid. What is your attention there? It gets your attention. Oh, there might be something wrong with this. It's out of balance. And oh my goodness, and now you put fear to it. Change your attentions. And make certain if it's doing this, it needs something. And you must learn to give it what it needs. Thank you, guys. Question from Inshura. Sorry, I posted a question in Super Chat, but forgot to write. Yeah, I think we got that. And I hope you'll do that, what they suggested, Inshura. Like sing. That was really going to shift you. Yes, thank you, Janine. I really appreciate that. Yes, Michelle, and please go inside. Spend time with that between now and the time of the biopsy. Start giving your lungs what they need. Do you go? How often do you do deep breathing? Maybe they're not getting enough oxygen. I don't. Yes. So, like, get to a place where you're giving your lungs the attention they deserve. Like when you breathe and you're filling your lungs, you're giving them life. Remember that. When you put your attention on your heart, you're giving it your life. Your attention is life. Your attention is life. Your attention is life. Where you put your attention, you're putting life. And if your attention is angry, you're putting that life in the form of anger. If you're putting love there, you're putting love there. Your attention is life. It is energy. Remember that. And it affects every part of your body. Every cell in your body reacts instantaneously when you have a thought or emotion or give a particular part of attention. Question from JC. I recently felt a numbness and tingling for several hours on the back of my head along with some anxiety. Can you tell me what or who this was? Yes. We wish to communicate directly with you, but it is important you understand the moment you consider that which is not familiar to you from the perspective of fear, it is hard to hear. We would encourage you to sit gently. Align yourself to the vibrational frequency of love as you know it to be. The vibrational frequency of love as you know it to be. To align yourself to that frequency. To use your breath to bring your body into that frequency. To release all thought. But to align yourself to that frequency of love as you understand it as a sensation for your body, as a perception to your consciousness, to stay in alignment with that. And allow yourself to hear what we are seeking for you to hear, rather than letting your mind interpret the sensation as something other than what it is. Yes. You have ears but need to learn to hear. But make your vessel ready. Make your vessel still and open in a vibrational state of love. It is important that you understand the nature of frequency. And love is a frequency that each of you in your own way understands. But for you, align yourself to that frequency of love. Let us approach you again and be open to receiving what it is you have asked us to give you. For you have asked and you have received. And so many of you, when you receive, are surprised and unfamiliar that you would get a response. You think that it would come in a physical way, but it is not always that way. Wow. Thank you so much. Great question. Thank you, JC. I have time for 2 more questions. I'm going to go to Tanya. I seem to start to perceive multidimensional energies. It's like a synergy of mixed sensations. What can I do to assist this method without it becoming too overwhelming? Again, they're saying to me, if you are stepping outside of mind and memory, if you're establishing a blank slate where the system is not interfering with your perception, you will hear us more clearly in response to your inquiries. But what many of you tend to do, you get yourself into a state where you are getting open and receptive to connecting to us and many others. You get to that place, but then you allow your mind to try and figure out what it is you are perceiving. You sense our presence, and then your mind tries to tell you what it thinks it is, and now you're lost in all of these distractions rather than in the essence of the message that you are seeking to receive. There will be no confusion when you're connecting with us, but your mind will confuse you if you allow it. So please ensure that you put your mind in that place where it is simply an open receptacle, that you may, as awareness, be free to receive the inspiration that comes from what you are not familiar with, but what you can know. Thank you. Thank you so much. Time for one more question. I'm going to just randomly scroll up and see what we get. Let's see. No questions there. Oh, hi there. Hello. Wow. I love how you guys post questions, and you guys actually post questions that help them bring through the information for everybody else. It's such a beautiful thing. Such a wonderful dynamic to watch. Question from Vertical Connection. This will be our last question for the day. I work long hours until early morning. Now, as the work is mostly done, I keep on repeating the habit of 1 a.m. Why is it that I don't break out, although I want to? Again, you make the mistake of not distinguishing between the conditioning you've given your mind and your body for that time frame. It is important when you wish to keep the body at rest, because you can change your program very quickly. You created the program for this work schedule. You created the program for that, and your body and mind simply does what it is remembering to do. That's all its function is. Your body simply remembers what it is to do. That's all it knows how to do, unless you teach it otherwise. So you must decide very clearly, consciously, and deliberately before you put that body to rest at night that it will go and it will sleep deeply now and peacefully, deeply and peacefully communicate your new idea, your new experience that you wish your mind and body to embody very deeply before you go to put that body to rest, that it will sleep deeply and peacefully throughout the evening, and that it will feel beautiful in the morning. You must train it now. You must reteach it a new function. And this is all you really have to do, any of you. Wow. Thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Guys, I want to say thank you for showing up today. Also, if you want to support this channel, go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And you'll get all the perks of our monthly patron live events. As well, you get to ask a question once a month. And we'll channel the answer for you from your guides, from your angels. And just show up. Remember to like these videos, subscribe to the channel. Giving these videos a thumbs up is really important for the AI algorithms on YouTube. It then takes this videos up and puts it on a broader spectrum of news feeds, so more and more people can start to get this information. Humanity has to be liberated from its suffering, or we're going to create an unfortunate series of events. As you can see what fear is doing on the planet now in our collective species. Just imagine what love would do. Just imagine what love could do. If we collectively got into love instead of our fear. Just imagine. That's such an amazing thought for me. So uplifting and so inspiring. So yeah, please support this work in any way you can. And again, I want to thank all of you for your time, your patience, for being present. And I will see you again on Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. Much love, everybody. Bye for now. See you then.